Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Anchor the Light. So, today let's talk about the mind. It's one of those instruments of the soul that when we don't control, it controls us. And this proverb, supposed to be Chinese proverb, but it's reflected in many different cultures. It says, let me just read it to you. The mind is like water. When it is turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. So clarity is connected to the calmness of the water. Now, there's several levels of truth in this. The superficial one is basically says if the water is calm, you see a reflection, right? The reflection is clear. If it's turbulent, the image is messed up. Simple as that. So for most people, they look at it like, yeah, if my mind is all over the place, I cannot focus, and there's no clarity. So therefore, I look at the world in a very, very confused way, right? That's ordinary people who are not yet understanding the deeper teachings. So yes, it's a reflection, but the deeper meaning is something like this. Every thought, every feeling we create creates a form. We call that a thought form. Okay, just imagine you're swimming in this ocean of energy. Every time you think of something, it creates a form. And it's interesting, if you study quantum mechanics, they actually talk about this in a more scientific way. There's this Higgs field. It's called Higgs field. Why it's called Higgs field? After Mr. Higgs. All right. So just imagine you have a box. If you extract all the matter out of it, it's supposed to be a vacuum. But even if it's a vacuum, it's not completely empty. There's still fields going through it. So this universe is basically filled with this field called the Higgs field. And according to science, every time they put attention or any time of focus is done on any part of the field, it starts to have mass. Think about it. It's just massless field of, let's just use the word energy for now. But every time some level of focus or consciousness is put in any part of it, it starts to have mass. Just imagine I have a piece of cloth. The minute I put my hand in it and clench my fist, I create a certain form out of that fabric. That has many levels of truth. But for now, every time you think or feel something, you're taking that field and creating a certain shape or form. That's called the thought form. And we create thousands of them a day. So we have this energy field called the aura, most of you know, and the easiest way to understand it, if I have a piece of wire, okay, you run any kind of current through it, it'll create a magnetic field, right? Electromagnetic field. So as life current, prana, goes through our channels, it also radiates electromagnetic field, a human electromagnetic field. The interesting part though is every time you think you feel something, you're creating these forms that actually populate this bubble that we walk around in. So when the mind is full of thoughts and emotions that are not regulated or controlled, these clouds are all over the place. When you look through this field, it's a mess. In other words, this term called inner noise refers to the thoughts and emotions that populate the aura. And they're constantly moving. That's why most people, if you tell them to meditate and be still, good luck with that. You're lucky if you can get 10, 15 seconds with the attention span. Because the second they start to become still, these thoughts just come into their awareness. So the mind is like water. It's constantly moving. So when it's turbulent, you cannot see clearly through it. Make sense? That's where meditation and spiritual practice comes in. When you do the proper type of meditation, listen carefully. Let me emphasize, we've been talking about this every session. The key is not trying to put something in to quiet it down. That's the mistake a lot of people make. They think they drink something, they smoke something, they shoot something. Mine is finally still. No, you're just numbing your system. You're just kind of making your response to it anesthetized. It doesn't mean they stop floating around. It's still there. It's just that what? You're numbing your system. And how long does that last? You talk to anybody who use substances to calm their mind. It doesn't last. It never lasts. And oftentimes, after they do that, guess what happens? It comes back with a vengeance. Things go crazier. I've yet to talk to anyone who does these things using artificial means that is permanent. In fact, at least the ones I've experienced, you might be an exception. The ones I've talked to, they come out messier than the way before. In public, oh man, I did this. I feel so calm, so peaceful. And in private, when they ask come over for a healing session, they go, yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. I go, and why are you here? Well, afterwards, I did experience stuff about my past, and now I can't shake it off. Blah blah blah. I go, yeah, all right, okay, have a seat. Get the point? Because the secret in having that inner peace, calmness, and stillness, again, let me say it a gajillion times, it's not putting stuff in, but emptying things out. Emptying things out. You don't empty it out. Anything that you do is just, as they say, kicking the can down the future. You heard the saying, you have a can, you keep kicking it to the future and dealing with it. So anything that you do is not going to be permanent. However, if you flush it out, your peace and stillness, more stuff will come up, eventually, but at least that peace and stillness that you have is not fake. It's real. Because when you're emptying it out, watch this, the soul does not have anything to focus on. It's just like your windshield or windscreen where there's a lot of bugs and a lot of whatever, leaves and junk and and a film of dirt on it. When you clean it out, you see clearly. That's why in the Indian tradition, they say when the water is turbulent and muddy, you cannot see to the bottom. When it's calm and still, you can see all the way to the bottom. Now, spiritually, it's talking about if the aura is clear of these negative thoughts and negative emotions, you get to see clearly who you really are. The spiritual being that is simply occupying physical, emotional, mental vehicles and functioning in this earthly life. That's that. It's been the same lesson every single time. We have different proverbs, we have different teachings, but it points to the same target, which is knowing who you are, what you are, where you come from. And the mind is simply, as my teacher said, the mind is just an instrument of the soul, not the soul itself. When you use a computer, you're not the computer. You're not the data produced by the computer. You are the user of the computer. The mind is like a computer that you use. The problem is if you cannot separate the two, the mind controls the user. That's that. Super simple. And that's why when you talk to people, I can't help it. Oh, you're right. I don't even let them finish. Okay, you're right. Bye. Talk to me later. You go, what? You're going to give up. You already said you cannot control the mind, the emotions, so okay, good luck. You already gave up. Don't waste my time. You go, no. Okay, well, I want you to think of a car. What are you doing? I'm thinking of a car. Think of a house. What are you doing? I'm thinking of a house. Feel a happy feeling. What are you doing? I'm feeling a happy feeling. Okay, so you can control it. No, but you understand, this stuff keeps coming to me. Because you allow it to. Nobody can piss you off unless you allow them to. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can. It's a matter of motivation. The word motivation, I think it's a Latin word, motivos in Asian, meaning motive is like reason to act. If someone puts a gun on your head and say, smile, even if you're pissed off, you will smile. True? That's why one of the things I really love, and I want to connect this again, is we just came from UPW with thousands of people. I remember one of the main things that Tony Robbins says is, everyone has the ability to decide one thing, what you focus on. You focus on being angry and upset, you'll get it. You focus on being happy, you get it. You know why? Focus, let's connect it to spiritual teachings. You are a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. In other words, you have the ability to act, right? When you move your body, you're using your will. When you're feeling love, you're feeling any form of emotion, you have the ability to feel and generate emotion. You have the ability to think, to create thoughts and ideas. These are three different aspects of the self or the soul. You can act, you can feel, you can think. Yes? Now, of these three, I know you're not going to agree with it, but whatever. The will is the one that regulates the other two. What does that mean? Let's say you have someone that you care about, but they're going through a difficult time, so they scream and yell at you and does something unpleasant. Emotionally, you just want to normally just get angry, upset. Mentally, you go, I can't believe why this person is saying this to me. But the soul can say, wait, I'm going to use my will to control the thoughts that are going through my mind, control the feelings that I'm going to generate so that I will practice compassion, understanding, and love. So the will is the instrument of the soul to direct energy, direct thoughts, feelings, and actions. So, in layman's terms, that's called focusing. Make sense? So the soul has the ability, that ability is using one of its major aspects, which is the soul, which is the will. Another term for will is power. So you have the power, the spiritual self has the power to decide, I'm going to generate these thoughts. I'm going to generate these feelings. In this situation, the right feeling to have is love and compassion. In this situation, the right feeling is to practice, watch this, letting the other person perceive anger. You go, what are you talking about? Let's say you have children. They misbehave, right? So you realize, this is no big deal. It's not a big deal. But if I don't reprimand this child, they think it's okay to steal somebody else's lunch money, for example. For you, it's like, hey, it's a few cents, a few dollars. But then you go, I have to make the child perceive this is not okay. You have to look like, in other words, you're acting out that you're pissed off and angry. So the child will go, okay, mom is serious. What did you do? It's very simple. The soul, the I, the self, generated feelings of anger, the face contracted, look like you're pissed off. To do what? To have a certain outcome. You are still in control. And when it's done, when the child says, Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry, I'm not do that again, you go, okay. There's remorse, the child seems to learn the lesson. Then you go, okay, from here, we build them up. Okay, son, it's okay. Now that you learned the lesson, don't do it again. However, with every act, there's consequence. So because of that, you will not have your mobile phone for 2 days, whatever. The entire thing was regulated by the soul. You are in complete control the entire time. Make sense? Now, some of you go, this is not easy. I never told you it was easy. But it can be done. That's why I'm going to come up, just giving you a preview. We're going to have a course called Mind Mastery. Mind Mastery. And for most people, it is a fundamental training for life. Because people, most of the time, they just like a boat thrown into the ocean with no rudder, no engine. Just, I just go with the flow. Oh, yeah, last 20 years, you've been going to the flow, and guess what happened? Nothing. Exactly. Circumstances are good, you're happy. Circumstances not that great, you're depressed. And so your life is built upon circumstances that are external, not realizing the mind is the interface where the soul uses to interact with the environment. You regulate your mind, you regulate your life. That's why the Lord Buddha said, everything starts with your mind. Everything starts with your thoughts. With your thoughts, your mind, you create your world. Make sense? So you have to define what is the mind, what is the mechanism that the mind works, how to regulate it, and how to use it as a tool to have a good life. Isn't that obvious? But most people, no, this is the way I am, this is the way I'm wired, I'm accepted. Okay, then you just accepted your problem. That's it. That's simple. So the key here is to understand your tools and how to use them. Okay? Now, let's go to the details. How do you actually do it? Just make sure I got the 1 second. Make sure that this is working. All right. Now, so at the simplest right now, we're going to do a short meditation, like we always do, a short meditation to hearts. And what it does is we're going to flush out all this inner noise. And when you flush out the inner noise, that inner noise is basically composed of these thoughts and emotions. And when you flush it out, at least for 2-3 minutes, you have stillness. Okay, so write this down. I've said this many, many times, but if you're just joining us, number one, we go from chaos and turmoil. That is all these thoughts and emotions swirling around the aura. From there, you want to move it into calmness. Calmness simply means instead of these thought forms jumping around, floating around like clouds flying all over the place, you're slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. And you don't just go from fast to stop. You have to slow it down. And the way you do it is you go into a rhythm. That's why people listen to music, right? Let the music that is a slower tempo, okay, it's relaxing me. When you say it's relaxing me, it's as simple as these thoughts and emotions that are flying all over the place because you are putting your focus on the music that has a rhythm. Your thoughts and emotions have a tendency to follow you. Make sense? So from there, you just kind of slow it down, that they're barely moving. Once they're barely moving, then you'll flush it out. Otherwise, what happens? You're trying to catch this, catch this, catch this. Yeah, good luck with that. It's like, what do they get? Herding cats. But once they're at a standstill, they can get rid of it. See what I'm saying? Most people, since they don't know the technology, they don't want to jump from chaos to silence. Good luck with that. And since they don't have the technology, somebody comes around, okay, if you shoot something, you drink something, you smoke something, you'll get there. So they grab on it, not realizing that that mechanism was not tapped into. They just numb the whole thing, disguised as calmness and stillness and silence. Make sense? But if you flush out the aura, these thought forms that have been frozen, slowed down, and flushed out, what do you have when the aura is empty? Silence. Make sense? Now, when you take that silence, when the aura is clean, at least at that time, and you keep stretching it, stretching the silence longer and longer and longer, then you start to realize, wait, there's nothing here. And yet, there's someone observing this emptiness. Who's observing? Oh, I am. At that point, not only do you experience calmness, it becomes very, very still. When it becomes very, very still, you start to experience, watch this, not just stillness, but some form of freedom or release. Release from what? It's just like a bottle of perfume. You remove the cap, the essence is in the liquid. But once you remove the cap, the essence, the perfume comes out, goes out of the bottle. That's your consciousness. You cannot have an expansion of consciousness as long as there's a big fat mess in the aura. It's technologically impossible. But some people claim, hey, I'm special. Okay, good luck with that. Let's see how long that lasts. Make sense? So that sequence has to happen. It's just a matter of how. So what we try to do here in all trainings, again, it didn't come from me. I learned it from my teacher. You go from turbulence, chaos in the aura and the chakras. You go to calmness, calmness to silence, Silence the emptying it out. When things are empty, don't be satisfied. Make the silence longer, 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 longer. At that point, since there's nothing disturbing the soul is able to observe itself. Once you observe yourself, then watch this. When you realize I'm not the body, I'm not these emotions and thoughts that I create, you get to realize, who am I? That's when you experience your true nature, a being of just pure energy. That's that. It's the same lesson. Some of you have joined me since, 2020. This all started during COVID. It's supposed to be 3 weeks. And now it's how many years later? 5 years later? 6 years later? But the lesson has not changed. Most important part in every soul's life is to know the 3 questions. Who am I? What am I? Where do I come from? You will never get that anywhere else except through self-discovery. It's just a matter of how efficiently you get there, how quickly you get there, or how difficult. That's that. Now, the good thing is this, and I'll finish with this and we'll meditate. Something can be said about rituals and routines. As you do this over and over again, keep doing your meditation daily, 3-4 times a week, over and over again, you're repeating the same process. Like shampoo. You see the back of the shampoo says rinse and repeat. Okay. Every time you meditate, we're doing the same darn thing. You flush the aura clean, right? Meditate on the silence. Stretch the silence. Raise your frequency. You experience oneness. Okay. Next time, you do it again. And again, and again, and again. And guess what happens? You do this over enough times. Number 1, there's less garbage to flush out. Number 2, it's faster to get to the silence because less stuff to flush out. And once you're in the silence, it's easier to stay there to stretch it. And as you stretch the silence longer and longer, it's easier to go into stillness. And in stillness, the longer you stay in stillness, the greater the expansion. So over time, you start noticing a few things. Number 1, we get less and less triggered by people. When before it's like, oh my God, they insulted me. Now you're just like, whatever. People almost think that you don't care. Well, you don't. You don't. People insult me and look at them like, whatever, that's your thought form, ain't mine. And they get upset. They go, hey, how come you're not responding? Well, they don't say that, but you can tell they try to go, why should I? If I'm not my thoughts and my feelings, I create them. Why should I take on your garbage? So just observe them. Mm-hmm. They go, oh, okay. I think I better project loving energy because this person's going downhill. Okay, so I just look at them like, okay, may you be blessed with peace and love and joy and be happy and, stop being a jerk. And that's that. Finish. Of course, I don't say that verbally. I'm still smiling. Oh, it's okay. And what happens? They calm down. Make sense? That's mastery of the mind. Now, I'll leave you one technique and then we'll move on. We'll meditate. So there's a certain technique in the Buddhist tradition, which is many versions of it. It's as simple as this. Okay, write this down. Every time you have a thought or a feeling, positive or negative, you ask the first question. What is it I'm thinking? What is it I'm feeling? What is the thought? What is the feeling? Okay? It's an inquiry. What is it? Somebody screams at you and trying to insult you, make you angry. You start feeling something, thoughts go through your head. Stop yourself and says, okay, what am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking that this person's really projecting negative energy and saying bad things about me. Okay, emotionally, they're trying to get me angry and upset. Why is that? See, the second question is, why am I thinking or feeling these things? You go, there's 2 reasons. Reason number 1, they're saying all these things because they want to trigger and get me angry and upset. Reason number 2, because as they say that, it affects my ego, my self-worth. So my natural response is to hit back. To say, oh yeah, no, I'm not. Then you go like this. Watch this. First question is, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Number two, what am I think? Why am I thinking these things and why am I feeling these things? And from there you go. From there, you're able to extract what you need to do the third question. Before we get to the third question, it's like this. This person is trying to get me emotionally angry and upset by attacking my self-worth. Hey, you are no good, you're a jerk, you are a fake, you're this. Oh, okay. Now, my natural response is, no, I'm not. I'm genuine, blah, blah. You always stop. They're trying to do this. First of all, what they're saying, is it true or not true? No. So if it's not true, why should I respond? Right? Why should I defend myself? There's nothing to defend. And then you keep going, okay, what is the appropriate thing to say and think? So the third question is, so what should be my next thought, my next feeling, and my next action? So number one is, what is the thought and feeling? Number two, why am I feeling and thinking these things? And number three, what is the next thought and feeling and action I should do? All this is happening at lightning speed in your consciousness. And guess what happens? You do this enough times, it becomes automatic. So what happens? The end result, you're more difficult to trigger. People screaming, yelling, you look at them like, okay, let's talk about this. Okay, what's your problem? You think in your head, okay, what's this guy's problem? Okay, they're trying to insult me. They're saying these things. They're thinking this. Well, first of all, it's not true. Or, okay, let's say it's true. Okay, well, maybe I'll make a note. That's one thing I need to improve. And from there, what is the appropriate thing to do? Should I scream, yell, and slap this guy? No, not a good idea. That'll cause problems. So I should just what? De-escalate or escalate? Oh, I'll de-escalate. Okay, I'll just listen intently. And maybe there's something there that I need to learn. Maybe I need to improve. And then say the right things. If I need to apologize because I screwed up, I apologize. If not, they'll just say, okay, thank you for information. And since I don't want to make it escalate, I'll just kind of, do a pattern interrupt. Hey, how's the weather? Or something to the effect that, I understand what you're talking about and I'll try to be a better person. If that bothers you, then blah, 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 whatever. Come up with something to de-escalate. The entire time, look at me, you're in complete control. You cannot do that if you're swimming in it. Now, how does that tie into your spiritual practice and meditation? As you keep doing your meditation and spiritual practice, you keep emptying out the aura and the chakras. You're practicing silence. You're practicing stillness, expansion, and knowledge of who you are. As you do this over and over and over again, every time a situation comes up, since you've been practicing silence and stillness so much, when something gets triggered, your aura is clean, so less things get triggered. You see, when somebody triggers you, it's waking up what's inside the aura. But if you keep it clean, there's not much to trigger. Make sense? That's why you notice when somebody's angry and upset, you're in your case, you're just having a good time. They get upset, angry. You look at them like, what the problem is? But when you're already stressed, they say something unpleasant, even if it's not directed to you. What happens? Kapow! You explode. Because you know why? The thought forms in your aura are going crazy. They just lit a match. That's it. You don't do your spiritual practice, welcome to suffering. I know some of you go, man, that is so harsh. Take it whatever you like. It's reality. But a lot of you have given me comments. If you've been doing meditation spiritual practice, you start noticing that, yeah, I do notice that negative people don't affect me as much. Which is contrary to a lot of people say, I do my meditation, I vibrate at such a high rate. I can't stand negative people that drive me crazy. I'm too sensitive. You might be sensitive, but you get to do something about it. That's the difference. Meditate on it. Shall we? Be aware of your crown. I am that I am. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotion. I'm not the thoughts. I'm the soul that generates the thoughts, the feelings, and actions. I am the soul, the spiritual self. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence that allows me to regulate my thoughts and my intellect. A spiritual being of divine love that allows me to regulate my feelings and emotions. A spiritual being of divine power and will to regulate the actions of my body, the feelings I create, and the thoughts I create. I am that I am, the soul, the spiritual self. Now be aware of your crown, 1 inch above the crown, 2 inches above the crown, 3 inches above the crown. Leave your awareness there. I am the soul. I am the soul. I am the spiritual self, a being of pure energy and light. I am that I am, the soul, the spiritual self. Open your hands in blessing. Imagine the earth in front of you. Now say, I am the soul. I'm connected in one with my higher soul. I'm connected in one with the divine spirit in me. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There's only oneness. And in this oneness, we ask to be instruments and channels to bless the entire earth. So we'll practice the meditation twin hearts as taught to us by my teacher, Grandmaster Chua Sui. So be aware of your heart, your hands. Imagine pink light from your heart flowing through your hands and blessing the planet Earth. Imagine the earth the size of a little bowl in front of you. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred, within me, outside of me, let me bring forth, let me sow unconditional love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. Where there's darkness, light, sadness, joy. Just be aware of your heart and your hands. May all beings be blessed with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with light and lots of joy. So be it. So be it. Just simply allow ourselves to be pipelines and channels to bless the earth with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with light and lots of joy. So be it. Now be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. Exhale. Just focus on your crown. Imagine golden light from your crown flowing down through your hands, blessing your home. All your family, your friends, your relatives, fill them with beautiful golden light. Let it spread to your city, your country. Let it spread to the entire earth. From the heart of God, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with loving kindness. May all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. May all be blessed without exception. So be it. Just let it flow through you. May all be blessed without exception. Now, be aware of your heart and your crown simultaneously. Take a deep breath. Exhale and pour more golden light to the entire earth. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being in the higher worlds, middle worlds, even the lower worlds, may all beings in every dimension, every direction, above and below, be blessed with God's unconditional love and kindness. May all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May all be healed of any pain, sorrow, or suffering. So be it. May all be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and especially the willingness to do good. Blessings be to all. Now that let that golden light flowing through us pour through countries where people are suffering due to political turmoil, to wars, to famine, to calamities, poverty. Bless all these people with its golden light. Different parts of the world are being affected: the Middle East, Europe, Africa, many parts of Asia. And if you know people going through challenging times with their health, their relationships, even their finances, pour this liquid golden light on them. May God's blessings be with them. So be it. So be it. If you have family members who are going through difficult times, visualize their lives getting better and better. Pour this liquid golden light on them. May they be filled with divine light, love, and power. So be it. So be it. May all be blessed. So now, put your hands down, keep your eyes closed, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Be still. Now imagine a golden star, like a miniature sun, just floating a few inches above your head. The image doesn't have to be clear, it's there. Just be still, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. You might think you're imagining it, that's the right feeling. Just imagine a beautiful golden star, a golden sun, just floating above your head. From your heart, send a stream of love up to the throat, to the center of your head, and into that golden sun. Stay there. We'll add extra energy to intensify your meditation. Be still. Here we go. And listen. Om. Allow your awareness to drift deeper and deeper into that light, into that silence and stillness. Om. Om. Be still. Be aware of the inner stillness. Be aware of the nothingness. And just simply allow things to happen. Let go. Now. Gently, very slowly. Move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly come back. Take your time. Raise your hands in blessing. We'll release excess energies our bodies cannot absorb. We'll also use it to bless our friends, our loved ones who are in need. Okay, project golden light to the earth, especially the people we love. May everyone be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity and spiritual oneness. Blessings be to all. So be it. Now be with your feet and the base of your spine. Just project golden light down into the earth. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, love, and power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. So be it. Blessings to Mother Earth. So be it, and so it is. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sri Mahaguji Mailing, thank you for divine light, love, guidance, help, and protection. Thank you in full faith. So be it. Okay, open your eyes. I hope you had a good meditation. Give me some feedback there if you like. If you're watching this in a replay, just let me know. We added some extra special sauce, as we call it. You know, you go to a place where there's a lot of Chinese restaurants. You think about it, there's 5, 6 of them in a row. How could all of them have business? Because each one has a what? A special sauce. So when you're meditating, people ask me this question: how come, I've done meditation for a long time, I've meditated for so long, an hour, 2 hours, and I don't get to the stillness that we experience when you and we meditate together? Well, part of it is the technique, because Master Cho gave this very simple sequence, meditation, twin hearts, okay? And then during the meditation, just like we did in UPW, your meditation was subsidized. Subsidized as in we pour extra energy so that in that short time, the expansion is faster. It's just like strapping on booster rockets. Okay, that's that. Okay. Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much. And again, please leave me your comments and share this with as many people as possible. The more people who meditate, the more they have more connection to their spiritual self. And this is how you heal the planet. Okay. Namaste. Take care. We'll see you in the next Anchor to Light. God bless. Bye-bye. See ya.